Today, we get into Vivek Ramaswamy giving another masterclass in a fiery exchange with the Washington Post dum-dum over white nationalism, a moment that exposes the hypocrisy of the fake news outlet. The media always does this to Republican candidates while giving a pass to actual racist Democrats, but this time they went beyond the ridiculous by asking a brown man who's running for president as a Republican if he condemns white supremacy and white nationalism. We'll play Ramaswamy's response. You are not going to want to miss this. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So you're about to witness a spectacle of media bias so systemic in the misinformation fake news media industry that a Washington Post reporter has no idea how ridiculous it is to ask a brown man, a man of color, if he supports white supremacy. And the reason why she asked Ramaswamy the question is a symptom of the preconceived notions of the fake news media reporting game. In a recent event in Scott County, Iowa, GOP presidential hopeful Vivek Ramaswamy was put on the spot by a Washington Post reporter. And while you're watching this, keep this question in mind. Would they ever dare ask a Democrat the same question? Give it a watch.
Do you condemn white supremacy and white nationalism?
I mean, what this guy? Who are you with? Which it's Washington Post. All right, so potato. Okay. Of course, I condemn any form of vicious racial discrimination in this country, but I think that the presumption of your question is fundamentally based on a falsehood that really is the main form of racial discrimination we see in this country today. Institutionalized racism is institutionalized racial discrimination that we see that doesn't come from somehow discriminating against
government-sanctioned racism,
of white supremacy. It's based on affirmative action.
Yep.
It's based on actually discriminating against people on the color of their
time
skin
somebody said
in a
it.
way that's actually institutionalized today. Was there a point in our history, at points in our prior national history, where there have been vicious forms of anti-black or anti-brown discrimination throughout this country after the Civil War and otherwise? Yes.
Now
but
it's on people like him from people like her.
Today that is so far removed from what the reality is in America today. This myth of white supremacy, the closest you can find is Jussie Smollett, where you all were actually, speaking of trust in the media, jumping up and down over some false narrative. The best way you're able to find your best instance of white supremacy was a guy who was actually paying his other fellow people to be actually staging something that didn't happen.
Exactly. The reporter's question seemed loaded, like a trap, didn't it? I mean, she asked Ramaswamy, a man of color, if he condemns white supremacy and white nationalism. Remember, this is the same media that never bothered to question Democrats with such intensity. The Democrats are a racist party. They always have been throughout the history of the party. Just because they had Barack Obama, a half-black man, doesn't mean that they're no longer racist from their history, even to today. They're the party of slavery, the party of the Ku Klux Klan, the party of segregation. The Democrats are the party of black codes, poll taxes, blocking black children from going into public schools, and now blocking black children from being able to leave failing public schools. The Democrats own the harms done to black Americans. And over the years, the Democrats tried to hide their past by making statements that America was responsible for past discrimination against black folks. I say, hell no, it wasn't America that was racist on black people. That was the Democratic Party. Think about this. The Democrats ran slavery exclusively. The Republicans ran a damn war to end slavery. While the Democrats were riding around in white sheets and hoods, terrorizing black communities all over the South, Hiram Rhodes Revels was the first black American to be elected to the U.S. Senate in 1870 as a Republican. The first black Americans to serve in the Congress were Republicans elected during the Reconstruction era. After the 13th and 14th Amendments granted freedom and citizenship to enslaved people, freedmen gained political representation in the southern United States for the very first time. And because of the growing numbers of black statesmen and politicians, white Democrats turned to violence and intimidation to regain their political power. But it didn't happen until around the 1960s when they learned that all they had to do was lie to black people, that it was the Republicans who were the racists and that they loved them all along. Yet we have this stupid fucking moron WaPo broad ask a brown man if he condemns white supremacy. because he's a Republican. You can't get more ignorant than that, folks. The media did the same thing, if you remember, to Donald Trump in 2016 when David Duke supposedly endorsed him over Hillary Clinton. Now, remember, David Duke was a Democrat when he was into the Klan. He had already left the Klan when he tried to become a Republican. Now, Trump answered in the affirmative that he condemns hate groups so many times that he made a big deal out of it once by asking how many times does he have to condemn hate groups before the fake news stops asking him? Then, as president during the Charlottesville incident, the same fake news media edited out of Trump's speech where he said that he wasn't talking about the neo-Nazis and white nationalists because they should be condemned totally, when he said there were very fine people on both sides. That is the mental illness that exists in the left-wing fake news media. They took the time and effort to edit out parts of Trump's speech where he condemned hate groups just so that they could say he supports hate groups. I think Republicans should actively stop allowing questions from the misinformation fake news media outlets. I mean, what's the point? They never asked Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, or Joe Biden that question. So why would they ask a brown man who just happens to be a Republican? It highlights the institutional racism that is systemic in the modern day fake news media industrial complex against Republicans and conservatives. Now, think about this. We have the most racist president in the White House right now since Woodrow Wilson, another Democrat, and the media would never ask him a question like that. Biden even told black Americans that they weren't black if they didn't know why they should vote for him over Trump. And what do we get from the media? I really hope Trump brings Ramaswamy into his cabinet because of things like this. He knows how to handle himself and he knows how to speak truth. Ramaswamy didn't just answer the stupid WaPo reporter's question. He flipped the script on her. He condemned racial discrimination, yes, but also called out the media's obsession with pinning Republicans as racists. So what does this tell us about the state of our media and political discourse? Well, it tells us a lot, actually. It seems some reporters are more interested in crafting a narrative than reporting facts, especially when it involves conservatives. And now you've seen a masterclass in how to handle dumbasses like that. All right, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and share our videos with like-minded friends who want to stay informed with what's really going on. Stay informed, stay vigilant. Always remember to read between the lines and the lies from WaPo reporters and others. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.